Shalom Akim. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of great Millstone who teach and rule well. And Shalom to the sincere Akim, spreading his truth and sincerity. Shalom. In this video, I want to talk about something that happened unto me today, and was at a job, and I was as some of y'all might know, I work right now as a some sort of technical electrician, related to fixing up, the light poles when they have a defect or a malfunction. So we had to replace the basically the head of the light pole on the light pole, and as my colleague put it, on top, and I was fixing the cable, to put it back. He quickly, went into the car, so I had to fix it myself. So within that little box you have different places that you need to put the cables in order for the light to work properly. You see, you have the face in Dutch is phase. You have the nul, which is the zero cable, and those two to make contact with each other to basically cause I say that an ignition. Actually, what you do is you make a controlled ignition so that you have light. So I wanted to put the earth cable, at the bottom, and while I was trying to screw it loose, and this didn't happen before, in the couple of months that I've been working there. But as I was screwing it loose, a bit of metal, broke off, and with high velocity, hit like this part over here. You see, like at the edge of my eye. If it had been a couple of centimeters or a couple of millimeters to the right or a little bit above, it would have hit my eye. Probably my eye would have been messed up. I'm not saying that I would have turned blind, but my eye would have been very messed up. And then I knew that the Most High corrected me on something that I did earlier. Because as you work as a technical electrician relating to light poles, you have to go from place to place, move here and there, throughout certain regions. So you come across people, you see, people walking here and there, and you also see females, of course. So the place that we were at, was a lower school, and me thinking in my mind, like, hey, the curses are coming upon Esau. So that the moms bringing their children to school, you be, like, are they single? Are they not? You be like contemplating within your mind, because Satan is doing that, of course. He wants you to go off, so he tempts you, But while fixing up the light pole, a little bit later than the thing that happened at the school, then and there I knew, like, hey, I should not have done that, man. I should not have even, let that come in my mind, meditating upon, is she single? Is she not? Are they single? Are they not? So that right there and then, man, the Most High, he corrected me, man. So this is Hebrews chapter 12, verse 5. And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord Yahawah, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. So we shouldn't really look down upon the fact that the Most High is correcting us for certain things that we, do. Whether we know why the Most High chastised us, or whether we don't know whether why the Most High chastised us, at that time. It also says, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. So to faint means to basically lose strength or to fall away. Let me look it up quickly in the online etymology dictionary. It says exhausted, faint, weak. To become weak when the Most High corrects us, man. Grow weak, become enfeebled, lack courage or spirit, be faint-hearted. Because we really should, endure those things. Let me grab Sirach, the 2nd chapter. Let me see what it says. Yeah, it says Sirach 2 and 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord Yahawah, prepare thy soul for temptation. So if we come to serve the Lord Yahweh, Yahawashi, our faith is going to be tested. We are going to go through trials, tribulations, and afflictions. Meaning the Most High is going to jack us up, for the means to see whether we're going to be faithful unto Him, or whether we remain upright, like Job. Because Job went through a mad trials, tribulation, afflictions, man. But he remained his, he kept his integrity. Verse 2, set thy heart aright, constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. The point of me bring out this verse is to constantly endure, which also goes into to make hard. So once we are chastised by the Heavenly Father, we have to endure that, and we have to grow stronger because of that. Back in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 6, for whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. So if the Most High loves you, he's going to correct you. Just like, you as a father, or, as a mother, I don't know if any sincere sisters are watching this, is chastising or correcting his or her children. The brother always brings out, when you see, your child playing in the sand, with all kind of kids around him, if your son is going to grab up, a little doo-doo from a cat or something, you're going to correct him for that. You see? Why? Because you love your child. You don't want him to play with shit, Verse 7, if ye endure chastening, the Most High dealeth with you as with sons, for what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? You see? Because through that correction and discipline that you receive, you're going to become better, and the Most High is able to direct and steer you in a certain way that he is pleased with you. Verse 8, but if ye be without chastisement, whereof all partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons. And grabbing that same example that I used, your child playing in the sand, if another child grabs the doo-doo, you're not gonna say anything concerning that child grabbing the doo-doo out of the sand. Why? Because you don't know him, you don't love that child. As a woman, you haven't carried that child for 9 months. Developed a emotional relationship with your child, in your womb. You're not gonna do that. It's the same thing that the Most High is not jacking up, the people that he doesn't love. Verse 9, furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? Because we in our flesh, we have had, parents, the elder apostles, elderly people, that are taking charge, that took charge over us, and consider the elder apostles still taking charge over us. And we're giving them respect. They're showing us the way how we ought to behave. You know, starting up from you as a little child, you know, and then I mean the example outside of the truth. You know, you as a little child, you grow up, you know, with your parents, you know, your grandparents. You know, you might have had, you know, elderly people in your neighborhood that, you know, watched over you and corrected you when you did something that was out of order, you know, but you still gave those people respect. You know, coming in this truth, you know, you have elderly brothers, you know, and also the elder apostles GMS on down, you know, that are looking out for our welfare, man. And we give them respect as well. But it also says, shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? You know, because if we give those in the flesh reverence and respect, how much more shall we the Heavenly Father give respect? You know, who is in charge of everything, who is in control of everything. Verse 10, for they verily for a few days chastened us after their own pleasure, but he for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness. Verse 11, now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. Because if you go through these things, you know, it's gonna be messed up, and you're gonna feel like crap sometimes. You know, same thing with my eye, man. I was like, holy shit. You know, I was checking the mirror, nothing there. Because it only, how you say that? A couple of millimeters, you know, in a different direction, man. And the result would have been different, man. Because by the speed that piece of metal came loose from that screw, it's crazy that it even, you know, came loose like that. It shows you that the Heavenly Father was, you know, in control of that situation. Also, how fast the colleague, you know, went back in the car. You know, after he took the picture, you know, of the working lamp of the light pole. I was like, okay, so now I'm gonna have to do all these things by myself. Sitting there, you know, screwing it loose with the screwdriver, trying to screw it loose, and then you give the first, you know, bit of power, and then it hits your eye. Well, almost, but you know. Reading on, nevertheless, afterward it yielded the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby. Because if you go through these corrections, you know, it's a way for the Most High to lead you in a certain way that you're going to be more acceptable in His eyes. Because concerning what happened to me today, it's because I, you know, was contemplating in my mind, you know, are these females, are they single or do they have a man? Because they were going to the lower school, right? In my mind, thinking like, hey, the curse are coming up on ESO too, so you know those families are split. You know, coming up with all kind of things in your mind to justify you watching. You know, but the most of us like, nah, stop the bullshit. You know, stop the bullshit. You see, so now for me there was a lesson learned that I should not, you know, be doing those things, you know, anymore in the future. You know. So Rawchaa, you know, this lesson was edifying, and with that, I give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of great Millstone who teach and rule well, and shalom to the sincere Akim, spreading truth and sincerity. Shalom.